Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. And yes, we are here to discuss the ownership of Chelsea Football Club. Where are we? Where do we stand? What is going on in the world? All of that to go through. We've got Nick Candy, we've got Todd Bowley, we've got the Ricketts family, we've got two late bidders that have also come in, which we're going to be discussing as well and going through. We've also got a little bit of talks on Saudi Media Group, which we'll be talking about later on as well. Loads, absolutely loads to go through with you guys as we are still waiting for that shortlist, to come through to confirm who the individuals are, or the last three or four are, to potentially be put forward to the government. All of that right here. And on top of that, we will open the lines. Today, we're opening the lines, get you involved later on in the show once I've gone through all of the topics that's required for me to go through. But before we move through, guys, you know what I need you to do? You know what time it is? Make sure that you smash that like button for GNA. Let's get this up to 50 likes, people. Share on your socials as well. We're about 150 away from the magic 5K subscribers. So any new subscribers today, if you're new, please subscribe. Support the community of GNA TV, the best community in the world, the best community in the chat as well. And before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are having a lovely day today. I mean, it is beautiful in the UK, not going to lie. Nice bit of sun. I went on a nice little hour walk. I was going through my Twitter feeds, waiting for breaking news, if there is any breaking news to be brought forward to you guys as well. There is news. There is stuff that we can talk to. I have been talking to people backstage as well, people that are maybe sort of more in the know than what I am. So there's lots of little things that we can be sharing today and going through, along with all the Twitter feeds that I've got above. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different feeds of information that maybe you've already seen already, some of it, but it's worth discussing. And we will come to these lot. Don't think that because my thumbnail was an image of Nick Candy, Todd Bowley, and the Ricketts family, that's what I think. This is going to be a talk about everything and everyone. So make sure that you're comfy. Make sure you're ready. This is going to be a big show today. The lines will be open as well. It's about giving our thoughts and opinions on where we stand at the moment. Where we stand at the moment before we go through these tabs, before we even go through what we've got above, is that Chelsea are still waiting for Raine Group to, or should I say Chelsea, we as Chelsea fans are still waiting for Raine Group to give us the three bidders. Who has made the shortlist? Who has made the shortlist? Who are the individuals that are in? Now, there's a lot of build-up around certain individual owners. Media have been pushing certain narratives of certain individuals that they feel that are maybe potentially within that shortened list, which can be true, may be happening. There's also been a lot of quietness around certain owners, and certain owners that I'm sure many of you have all been wanting it to be. SMG Saudi Media Group is one owner where we know have put an official bid in. The last time we spoke on him when we had CFC Pies, he was going to try and come on today, but he couldn't make it. He will, however, be joining me on the next show, which will probably be Thursday. So if we get any news tomorrow, we'll be then really going through it on Thursday. But we should have some breaking news, we're hoping, before the weekend. Something, at least the list that's going to be shortened too. So once that list has been shortened, once we know the three bidders are, Raine Group's process is to take them individuals and put them forward to the government. The government themselves will then go through a strict regime. The strict regime will break down the funds. It will break down, where they make their income, where it's sourced from, just to make sure it's not any dodgy money in many ways, and also background checks against individuals that are going to potentially buy this football club. And these are all things that have to be done. They have to be pushed, and people need to, people need to give it time. This is not something that's going to be turned around very quickly. I do expect us to get the name of the owner, who it should be, at some point soon, from what I've been told. But in terms of officially announcing this new owner, you won't hear anything about this new owner until what we're being told no earlier than the end of this month, which is next week. But then I think it will probably go into beginning of April, mid-May. Don't be surprised if it's officially not announced, which I'm cool with. But as long as we know who the shortened list is for, as long as we then know who maybe the individual will be, which I'm sure we will end up finding out one way or another. We have very good, say, people that are in the know that can dig out this information that's required. So there's a lot still to be happening. We are still all up in the air. We are hearing different things from Liam Towney, Matt Law, Nizar Kinsella. You know, there's all these different comments still coming out for different individuals. Some say, oh, they're out. Some then say, oh, no, they're in. Some then say, oh, they're not involved. Some then say, oh, yeah, they are involved. Like, we're still just all up in the air. And let me tell you something now. There will be some journalists that are reporting that probably know more than what they're leading on to. And they're being told not to say much. And that's fair enough. But what we need to do as fans is not panic, is not go pulling our hairs out because we read an article that involves the Ricketts coming to London and going through, you know, talks with Chelsea Football Club. You know, that was one article. That's what I'm saying. Guys, we're going to be going through everything now, everything above. But make sure you smash the like button. Let's get us over 50 likes, 54 of you here. Big up to Josh in the house. Let's go through the chat first. How are you? He says, smash the like button. HM says, we need to be saved by a secret buyer. No to Americans. He's still adamant. No to Americans. Jem, we need your luck for Saudi news. Listen, I am on it when it comes to Saudi news. I want, you know, as much as it comes to wanting an owner, and I have made it very clear that in terms of my intentions is about finding the right owner with the right intentions, not specifically where they come from. But when you think about the likes of Saudi media and trying to find negatives, which we've been trying to do, there isn't many. The only thing that worries me with Saudi media group is the whole slowness, is the whole supposedly what Matt Law said in regards to getting the deal across the line, fast tracking the deal quicker is a lot harder with Saudi media group. Why? I don't know why. When he said that, I didn't take a blind eye to it, but I spoke to some other individuals, and apparently that seems to be the case. But I don't know why it takes longer for a Saudi media bid to be approved than it may does a westernized American, billionaire. Maybe because of the connections that they maybe already have in England or etc. I don't know, but we'll see. It doesn't mean that they're out. That's what I'm going to say to you guys. It doesn't mean that they're out. We're going to talk a lot more about Saudi media a bit later on in the show. DJ Sajay, big up to you. Waved, how are you? How are these Americans ruin our club? Listen, I don't think all of these Americans will ruin our club, personally. That's my opinion to you guys. You know, I don't think every American owner that's been put forward is bad news for Chelsea Football Club. You know, we're going to talk more. Big up to Chelsea, the King's player says maybe the UK government's punishing Chelsea by forcing a bad new owner on the club. Potentially. But then again, we still have no clue who the shortened list is, and then we don't know who's being put forward to them. Then we can make our decisions upon knowing what we know in that information to whether the government are going to force or push a certain individual or a certain member, i.e. Nick Candy, because he has links to the Tories. Does that make sense? Big up to Seppers in the house. How are you? Big up to CFC Fahim. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Bex says best community is the best community. This community in the chat right now are the best, guys. Absolute best. Yeah, CFC Pies will be with us on Thursday. I've already spoke to Pies already. Trust me. Trust me. I'll talk to Pies quite a bit. So, you know what's going on. Big up to Couch in the house as well. Dominic, nice to see you. M3, Mythos, Athan. Nathaniel, who's in love with Lukaku, still says Saudi hype. Hassan, nice to see you in the house as well. All have one-sided information. Exactly. Luke, got a bad feeling it's going to be in America, and that's what we're going to be moaning about in a few years. But again, we're going to talk about it. I'm not going to jump into it yet. Waved, big up to you. And that's it. That's all I can see in the chat at the moment. Over 70 of you guys here, though. Make sure that we smash the like button, guys. Let's delve into what we know up to this point and what we've learned up to this point. And we're going to start with a comment that was brought up by Absolute Chelsea in regards to Raine Group. And this is why my topic name on this stream was written how it was. Raine Group is hoping to make the announcement on which bidders will go to the next stage of the process by Tuesday. Now, it is Tuesday. It was commented by Nizar Kinsella himself. Whether or not this is 100% true, we will find out. Tuesday is still a very long way to go. We've still got the evening. Will we find out today who the three bidders are? Will we find out who the three bidders are while we're live on GNA TV? You know, look, at the end of the day, anything breaking comes through. Anything breaking comes through. People sending me stuff on Twitter as well because they know I'm live. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got that. I've got that to go through. Thank you, DJ. Any breaking news, when it comes through, we will be reviewing that as well. So that's something that we'll be looking into. But this makes a lot of this. Look, this makes sense. I wouldn't expect Raine Group to be delaying it. There is a lot of there's a lot of pressure on Raine Group to get this speeded up. We were told that there was 30 bids being put forward. 30 bids were put forward to Raine Group for them to shortlist, which they've been doing over the weekend and over Monday. I'm pretty sure they're probably at a stage now where they have that. They probably have that. The idea, probably the idea of who maybe the 2 or 3 individuals, or maybe 4. We don't know yet. We've been told it's around 2 to 3. We're going to go into it. We're going to go through the individuals that are being highlighted mainly the most. Big up to Gary in the house. That's what it's about, Gary. That is generally what it's about. Big up to Declared in the house as well. Saudi are coming. A lot of people still fingers crossing on Saudi. I think we will get updates this midnight. We could do CFC for him, but we've got to keep our ears open. We never know. Business hours in next hour with New York. I think we'll know the shortlist in the afternoon. Hopefully, I'll be live. I'll be live. I hope it does come through. Jim, the Todd Bowley face looks like a scam. He will take a lot of money out from our club. Again, how do we know that, Obi? Where do we know that that's true? Now, listen, everyone's going to have their own personal preferences and opinions on who they want to run this football club. Some may like Todd Bowley. Some may not. I know 90% of the Chelsea fan base hates Ricketts. I know that maybe 20 to 30% of the Chelsea fan base actually prefer Nick Candy to Todd Bowley. I know that maybe another 60 to 70+% would prefer Saudi media. We are all sort of here, there, ever being dragged left, right, forward. We just don't know. We can't start really. We have our preferences, but we can't start really pointing at what we want until we know what it is. And once we know what them 3 individuals are, then we can start highlighting on who we want specifically. Because if it's Ricketts' family, Nick Candy and Todd Bowley, I want Todd Bowley personally, but that's my opinions. You might want Nick Candy. You know, it's not that I hate Nick Candy. Look, Nick Candy's got, you know, and we're going to talk about Nick Candy in a bit, but Nick Candy's backed very heavily. You know, I just don't like the whole link to the government thing with Nick Candy and the way that he's kind of moved with his PR stunts. A lot of PR stunts from him himself as well. Big up to Nick Blue in the house as well. Arpan says no to Ricketts. I think everyone's saying that. If it's announced at like 8 p.m, will you do another stream? I will bring, if it's announced while I'm awake at a good time, I will do a breaking show for you guys. All right. We will go through it together and then we'll start detailing and talking about, try and get Pies on as well. Pies will probably come on as well. So we will. Yes, we will do something. So there you go. That's that. Yeah, we're going to fly through this because I am going to open up the lines as well because I want to know your thoughts and feelings. I want to know where you feel or are feeling about the scenarios as we speak. But we're going to start with some late bidders because there were some other initial bidders that were brought in to the pot. Now, they've not been in the shortened list, but they've been mentioned. So we've got this. It is driven by Centrius co-founder Nizar Bassam and CEO Garth Ritchie. They are working with a hedge fund manager, Jonathan Laurie of Shine Capital and Talis Capital, Bob Finch. They also said to be CFC season ticket holders. Centrius is a London-based global investment firm who have confirmed their bid to buy Chelsea. They say they will keep investing in the first team academy, women's and team and Chelsea Foundation. They'll also keep on the current management at all levels. Now, that is the thing is at the moment, and why I'm highlighting these other new bidders is that, of course, we need to know about them because they could be within the mix. There's been a lot of narratives being pushed by media of certain individuals. And I feel like Nick Candy specifically, Ricketts' family, all these certain individuals have been pushed more by the media. Now, I'm not sure whether some of these individuals that are being put forward, i.e. Nick Candy, for example, are being used to garnish the actual individuals that are maybe being put forward to the list. Not to say that they're trying to trick us, but if you look at the way someone like Saudi media are moving currently in all of this, we don't know fuck all. We don't genuinely know what they're doing right now. We don't know if they're either on the short list. All we know is that the bid was put forward, and that's all we've ever heard. You know, we're not hearing that they're going to Chelsea. We're not hearing they're doing this, they're doing that. And I don't mind that. I genuinely don't mind that. It gives me a little feeling of the way that Roman Abramovich sort of bought Chelsea. It was very kept in the darks. It was asked to not be publicized by them. They were very just getting on with it without having to PR it, if that makes sense. And at the moment, you hear the likes of Todd Bowley pop up a lot, yeah, and then a lot of information comes out of him. Nick Candy seems to want to walk around and talk to Sky Sports, walk around PRing everywhere and trying to push it a bit like Muslim Bayrak. And we all know what happened to Muslim Bayrak, okay? So what I'm trying to get is these individuals that are coming in now, and obviously these guys are long season ticket holders, a big investment firm based in London. Cool. Do I know much about them? Not really. Would I have to do research on them? Of course. You know, maybe an individual like this may be one of the ones that's in the short list and not Nick Candy, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe it's being pulled away. And I don't think there was any more from this I consider that. There wasn't. But we know that they're involved heavily. Some people seem to think that they might be already on the short list, from what I've been told. How true that is, I don't know. I genuinely do not know. So the next one I wanted to go to was this. Apparently, and this is another bidder, which has just came out of the woodworks. Apparently, one of the bidders for Chelsea is Los Angeles Clippers owner and former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer, who has a net worth of $96.8 billion. Now, this guy could literally walk in, buy Chelsea, and probably run it himself. When I said to you guys about Chelsea being bought by a consortium, which will probably be 90% the case, I don't think that this guy would need that back in. You know, with that sort of net worth of himself, you know, and then it's interesting because he's linked to Microsoft as well, you know, massive companies already know. And then I was reading the comments and some people were saying interesting. Some guy said that he spoke to this guy and he says he's a part of the consortium. So apparently he is a part of a partnership. Some people were asking questions towards that. A guy who works at Chelsea as a scout were told weeks in advance about their job. And this was the name that was mentioned. I don't know who this guy is. He's not got massive following, you know, but the Clippers have been mentioned a little bit here and there from certain individual bigger platforms in many ways. Now, again, another individual that could be thrown into the bundle, another individual that could be put on the short list. Now, in terms of these Clippers guys, it's very interesting to know what they're like because I don't know much about them. So again, I've done a little bit of research and I was looking to what some people were saying as well. And you know, some of the Chelsea fan base who know him very well. Obviously, I don't watch enough of American sports to understand. Say that billionaires isn't cheap when it comes to paying luxury tax. Actively involved in being at games and super passionate. He likes to invest in top talents. No tight on wages. So he spends money. There's no cap to the way that he works. He just wants to be competitive. And it works from what I've been told. So there's a little comment on what this Clippers owner is about. Someone that's very competitive. Apparently got voted one of the owner. I read it on The Athletic. One of the best sportsman owners in America. This guy. Like he's very highly rated. Apparently the fan base love him out there. You know, he don't fuck around. He gets the job done. And yeah, you know, interesting stuff as always. Check CFC Pies' updates. What's CFC Pies updates saying? If it's breaking, then I'll bring it. If it's breaking, then I will bring it. 2 seconds, guys. I think the key point though is Chelsea. Sorry, because as I'm trying to do the show, I'm getting new things sent to me, new articles, new stuff, things that will just come out now as well. I think what's this about? Oh, a bit of news on Saudi Media Group. Okay, so we've got a little bit of news on Saudi Media Group, but we'll come back to. Thank you for sharing that with me. Stay tuned. Make sure you smash the like button, guys. We'll get back to the Saudi Media Group soon as well. What's Pi said? Oh no, I've got that. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So there we go. In terms of potential new owners, new individuals, we've got the Clippers. We've got the English investment company, who are Chelsea season ticket holders, also being talked about being involved. Historically, the LA Clippers suck, so he may go out of his way to make CFC great, is what Chelsea Kings player saying. Sharing some knowledge. Thank you very much. I'll check him in a sec. Being 94 billion worth doesn't mean he will invest in the club after buying it. It's all about the love of the club. But this is where it goes back to have love for the club, you have to spend. And do I expect them to have the same emotional attachment to what Roman Abramovich had? No, I don't think we'll get that as in terms of an owner. But if we get an owner that's a bit like Man City's owner, who comes in and pulls his money out of his pocket and continuously just keeps buying when we need to buy, because the recruitment are telling them to do so, because Marina's telling them to do so, because we need to keep the squad strength. Tuchel's saying we need to have this done. So it's I agree, but then you could say the same thing, Boogeyman, to all of them as well. Everyone keeps telling me why I'm trying to do is to check something else. I'll just make sure it's not absolute breaking news. Sorry, guys, it's distracting me. Okay, we'll come to that. Or actually, do you know what? We'll come to that now, because that is breaking news, really, from Absolute Chelsea right here. So let's bring it up. So we have been told that Chelsea, including Bruce Buck, have effectively chosen the preferred bidders. So we are now in a position, supposedly, and this is from Jacob Benz, who's been very heavily involved in the lot of the talks that's going on to the football club. This was given, 5 minutes ago? This was touted out. So as we speak, the preferred bidders have been chosen. Now, Raine Group have probably gone through the process of breaking it down. They've probably put a handful of maybe, say, 5 to 10 bidders potentially forward to Bruce Buck, Maria Grafiskaya. That was something else that was what I was actually going to talk about, but we didn't get to doing it. So we are now in a position that Chelsea Football Club, or Bruce Buck and Marina, come to an agreement of who the preferred bidders are, which tells me that if this is true, in the next couple of hours, we should have news on who these preferred bidders are. Now, I'm hoping this is broken while we're live. Raine Group will announce Chelsea's preferred bidders this week. Suitors can find out as early as today, but no later than Thursday lunch. Shortlist of 4 expected, guys. So if that's there, I'm assuming that will be on the back of... Let's go to Jacob Benz, because Jacob Benz is the guy breaking all this news. And there we go. Give him a bit of a like. Why not? So we're going to come back to the Saudi group stuff, because that's there anyway. So Raine Group will announce Chelsea's preferred bidders this week. Suitors could find out as early as today, but no later than Thursday lunch. Bruce Buck has had an input, and it was expected to be a shortlist of 4. Told there was less than 10. So look at that. I guessed. I said up to 10, didn't I? What a guess that was. That's a 5 to 10. I'll follow him as well. I don't even follow him. 5 to 10 serious bidders. So these 10 serious bidders have now been broken down. This is interesting stuff for the football club. This is big news, because that means they've done it. Let's read into his comments. Let's go through it while we're into them, and then we'll go on to the other bits and bobs that we've got, as it's all breaking news as well. The Ricketts family / Ken Griffin remain extremely confident they are the best position to secure quick sale due to their relationship with Raine and previous due diligence to Chelsea. Now, why Ben Jacobs thinks that may be true, which it probably is in terms of the connections between Raine Group, is fine. But when you read what's been sent out to Chelsea Football Club, to the government, written by the Chelsea's Truster Funds, also the Chelsea Chicago's, that have also sent letters directly to the government stating, addressing, pushing that the Ricketts family are not allowed, should not be allowed to take over this football club. This tells me that it is hanging in the air with the Ricketts family. I really hope that it isn't them, with all of the bad media news that's come out with them. We don't need that We don't need that pressure. Yeah, we don't need to get rid of Roman to then have someone else that's going to put us in the public eye. We don't want owners that are going to put us in a bad image. And the Ricketts family, unfortunately, is one of them. No Ricketts is what people are saying. I'm scared. SMG is what CFC Fame's hoping for. Saudi, please. We're going to go to the Saudi news next because there is Saudi news to be read. And it is Jacob Benz again that's said clearly here. He's saying Saudi media group has made a strong offer, least likely group to facilitate a fast sale. No intel yet as to whether they've made the shortlist, but it's been reiterated, as you expect from SMG, that CFC aren't put off by, as I put it, the optics of KSA sale. Let me read that again because it's very hard to put it. So, Saudi media group has reported made a strong offer, least likely group to facilitate a fast sale. When I said to you guys at the beginning of the show about this fast sale happening, about this fast sale happening, it's not going to happen. And I don't know why it takes Saudi media longer to facilitate a fast deal. I don't really need to understand why we need to have a fast deal. Bruce Bucks came out and already said that Chelsea Football Club can move forward to the end of this season the way they are, comfortably. So we ain't really in a financial issue. There's talks about the potential of ticket sales going through again through a different third party, which we'll talk about as well soon. So, why fast track it? Why is that an issue? Why couldn't they be picked? All right, if it takes 2 weeks longer than it does for signing Todd Bowley, why does it matter? I just find it a stupid excuse. No intel yet as to whether they've made the shortlist, but it's been reiterated, as you'd expect from SMG, that Chelsea aren't put off by it, as I put it, the optics of a KSA sale. I think the key point, though, is Chelsea, not Raine, have effectively chosen the preferred bidders. So whoever makes the shortlist can assume the club are entirely comfortable with them. The level of club input at this stage is atypical, but then is so the whole sale process. So there you go. So basically what he's saying there is effectively Raine Group have highlighted the 10 or 11 that they deem to be the best suitors from categories that Raine Group would have had to follow. But the ideal preferred choice went to Chelsea Football Club, went to the likes of Bruce Buck, went to the likes of whoever else that was important at that point to make the decision. Though I think Roman Abramovich still has an involvement in this. I keep telling you guys, behind closed doors, yes. I don't think you're going to see an article come out saying Roman Abramovich picked SMG. He picked Bowley. Do I think that they were still picking up the phone at all? Of course they are. Come on. The fact that it's gone to Bruce Buck and supposedly Marina Graviskaya tells me that Roman Abramovich, even though he's not physically there saying, yeah, them, is still involved. He would have spoken to them too. He would have categorized potentially the bidders that he thinks would be best suited for us moving forward. Maybe they've gone based on his words. Maybe they've gone based on his words, guys. 100% no Ricketts. The Clippers will never be the Lakers. Facts, but that owner may try to make Chelsea his Lakers of football, is what Chelsea Kings of players saying. Seb is saying they don't want the Saudis due to their double standards, hence their excuse is not good too long. Hassan saying because Saudi is humanitarian issue and English isn't according to them, they want English Tory funding billionaire. Hence why the issue comes when you have the government involved, right? Hence why you have that issue. But there you go, guys. A little bit of breaking news in regards to Mr. Ben Jacobs and where we stand with the bids. From what we've been told, preferred bids have been selected by Chelsea Football Club. Raine Group have put forward 10 to us. Now this has been narrowed down to 4 bidders. 4 bidders have been narrowed, have been narrowed down basically. And now who are those 4 bidders? That's what we're waiting to know. That's what we're waiting to understand. Bruce Butters put. Yeah, I'm just reading what Piers is saying. He's saying the same thing. Bruce Buck has shortlisted it to 4. The Ricketts remain extremely confident due to diligence with Chelsea and strong relationship with Raine Group. They seem to think that their due diligence is fine. They seem to apparently pass the thing, but they think we'll pass with the government. We'll see. Buck is in the Super League and is American. No surprise he wants the Ricketts. Now, Bruce Buck, which I forgot about, is in the Super League and is American. Yes. So the fact that maybe the Ricketts would be pushed forward, or any American entity or bidder would be pushed forward to the government, probably doesn't favour us if Bruce Buck's picking it. But is it Bruce Buck's words? Now, is it Bruce Buck's words? Is it Bruce Buck's choice on these individuals? Has Roman Abramovich had discussions with Bruce Buck in terms of individuals that he thinks should be put out still? Who he thinks best for the club? Marina Graviskaya, another one, maybe has an heavy involvement in this also. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. We'll have to wait and see. Lots still going on. I have a strong feeling Buck will go with the Ricketts. The guy has always been someone I have never liked at Chelsea. Everything Roman has done to cut out of the morals from our club, Bruce Buck will ruin it. People feel unconfident in Bruce Buck's decisions. That will probably choose his fellow countryman, Todd Bowley. It could be Ricketts, could be Todd Bowley. You know, Marina's there as well. Would she have had some sort of involvement in the saying? Who knows? We'll have to see, guys. But there you go. So that's the proposed so-called new break-in at the moment, which we'll come back to in a bit. Now it's going back to who are these 4 individuals? Now, do I think that these 4 individuals are all American? No. The fact that we know it's 4 have been preferred, 4 have been narrowed down. I do think that the Ricketts is one of them, unfortunately. This is my preferred, my opinion of who I think are the 4. I do think the Ricketts are 1. I do think Todd Bowley's number 2. I do think Saudi media are one of the 3, one of the 4. I do. I've just got this, maybe more praying that it's more Saudi media than anything. I do got a feeling that Saudi media are number 3. And number 4 is Nick Candy. If it ain't Nick Candy, then I think it's the billionaires from Britain. The Chelsea season ticket holder billionaires, the 3 or 4 of them. I think it could be them. But Bowley is a definite for me. And we're going to talk a little bit about Nick Candy now, because he's been heavily involved in all of the news. We had this comment from H. Grimes not long ago saying that the Chelsea takeover indirectly, UK government, PL have their say who will take over CFC. Bowley, Vice and co, Nick Candy and co in the shortlist. That issue now, Abramovich put under pressure to sanction where the difference of the charity money sale will go. Look, because a lot of people have their differences on Grimes' comments. I don't know how true this is, but at the end of the day, you can take parts from it, you can understand it. From what she's saying there, she believes that the government and the Premier League will have the direct choice of the takeover of the football club. I don't think that's true, personally. I think that Chelsea Football Club will be heavily involved in this as well. But yeah, like I said, I know some people saying don't listen to Grimes. Yeah, look, I don't. You know, at the end of the day, it's not listening. It's just hearing other opinions and what they've got to say. It's Candy, Broughton, Bowley and Ricketts is what Couch feels it is as well. So there's a comment from Grimes. But then there was this article come out. And do you know what? We're lucky because I can still see this article. I can still see this article that was brought out. Now, this article is deleted now. This article against Nick Candy is deleted. So basically, there was an article from Football London this morning basically stating that the part of the consortium, Catalina Kim, the South Korean billionaire, came out and basically confirmed, and I'll keep it short and sweet, I won't read it fully. She basically said that she was asked, where is it? In the meaningful overseas markets. So yeah, here it is. Today, ahead of the extended Chelsea takeover deadline, I received a tip that a gesture of support from the government would be helpful. I was asked to write a small private application letter, but it was turned down. Now, this comment here kind of completely kicked Nick Candy out. Completely kicked him out of any involvement. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, wow, this is true. And then when I scroll down, you could see Catalina Kim and her comments there. It was there. So whoever wrote this article, this guy, who's now deleted this article, this is why I keep saying that they're pushing the narrative. Daniel Khan, trainee football underwriter. I can still see it, mate. I haven't come out of it. If I come out of it, I won't be able to go back into it. It will cut me out. It's lucky I kept it open. I can actually still see what it says. He basically wrote an article to basically say that Catalina Kim had already spoken before Nick Candy had confirmed, and basically said that the government had asked her specifically to write a letter towards them, which then she had confirmed turned down from the government, which tells me that they wouldn't have been picked ahead on time. Now, after reading that, this came out. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing. This is what I say to people: don't take everything gospel. It's mad. Even myself, we then got this on Instagram from Catalina Kim, which was from Pies, who put it out. So Catalina Kim on Instagram: the fund will come with a strategic partners that every football club needs for its stable and continued success. Very excited for the plan we have for Chelsea FC. But then she goes and writes this: thank you for continued support for everyone for our process of buying Chelsea Football Club. We are very much pleased with our additional investors to the Blue Football Consortium, guys. Yay! The Blue Football Consortium. What a name. It is another one of the largest finance corporations from South Korea with subsidiaries under such a retail bank. And then she breaks down their involvement. Then she says the new investor, Blue Football Consortium, secured has strong ties to big Korean corporations and institutions such as National Pension Service of Korea. Now, these guys are the third largest in the world with 800 billion in fucking assets. Korea Investment Corporation, sovereign wealth fund established by the government of South Korea in 2005, 180 million in assets under management. And then she rings out the involvements. Hyundai Group. The Hyundai Group, the so-called Hyundai Group, who pulled the plug on us or suspended any dealings with us until we sorted out the new owner situation. LG Group are there. There's a couple of other names on there as well. The fund will come with a strategic partners that every football club needs for its stable and continued success. Very excited for the plan we have for Chelsea. Now, this is where it gets so weird. How have we gone from one comment, which I kept, from Football London, with a comment from Kim in Instagram saying that she was asked to write a proposal to the government directly, which they turned away, to then all of a sudden, this. That's what I'm saying to you guys. It's mad. They're playing with our emotions, man. They are literally, as Chelsea fans, we are being dragged left, right, and centre in this scenario. What are people saying in chat? Nizar jumped off Saudis real quick, so I don't think he's jumped off it. I just feel like there's just not much to talk about when it comes to SMG. There's not really, if they are doing things, they're doing it in the dark, and I'm cool with that. But provided that they're on that shortlist, if it gets to the point where we get the shortlist and with the confirmed 4 people, which we've been told by Jacob Bems half an hour ago, have been selected by the Chelsea Football Club, put forward by Raine Group already, and they're on there, then I'm cool. If it was Todd Bowley or someone else faced of the Korean backing, I'd be down for it. But then it's Nick Candy. Literally, if you'd have took Todd Bowley, right? If you took him and stuck him with this Korean woman, I would have said, bang, there you go. They're our owners. The only thing that goes against Todd Bowley is his consortium. The old man, the 87-year-old old man, and the Spurs guy, Spurs fellow billionaire in England. They're his partners. It's the only thing that kills Todd Bowley. I don't mind Todd Bowley himself being the leader of it, but he needs to have better backing. He should have gone and got bigger. I mean, I know there's talks of him getting another bigger backing from America, but it's just made up of not the right individuals. I'm moving like campaigning for president elections where they give hella promises and fulfill none. But yet again, Obi, I hear what you're saying, but we need to be patient. We don't know that. Whoever is selected, whoever's been given the opportunity, we have no choice but other than to trust what Chelsea Football Club picked and what we're being given and just see how it runs. Now, the short-term part of it will look good. because they will back us. They will probably get contracts sorted. They will get owners. They'll sort out sponsorship deals. They'll buy players. I think Tuchel will be backed. But it's not the short-term image. It's the long-term image that we need to be wary of. You know, it's the short-term, it's the long-term image that we need to be wary of. Guys, make sure that we smash that like button, please. Smash it as much as we can. We already know little bits about Saudi Media Group. They are still involved in the mist. I can see a lot of comments on Twitter about Saudi Media Group. The issue with Saudi Media Group is just facilitating a fast sale. That's the only issue. Can they get around that before the government make a decision? I don't know. Can they put a good enough, because in terms of actually getting concluded and passed with the government, I don't think Saudi Media have the issue. It's just fast selling, maybe the sign off of passing over Chelsea Football Club to them officially, maybe longer. Why? Again, it's confusing. It's confusing shit. What was I going to do? I was going to do something. We are going to open up the line soon. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions very shortly. We are still waiting for any more breaking news that comes through. I've already given you that little article from Nick Candy and then this comment from Catalina herself, Catalina Kim, who is a part of the consortium of Nick Candy. She's come and gone from one scale to another, which is why I'm so confused. Not much with John Terry. Rome's legacy is in the hands of Bruce Buck. I'm from California, follow the NBA, LA Lakers fan, best friend season ticket to Clippers. They spend like Spurs. I know what I say, brother, is what Lee Bell's saying. We have got a comment from Frosted Myth. Thank you for the donation. He says, where is Saudi Media? Listen, bro, do not be... I am on trying to find out as much detail as I can on Saudi Media. I am pushing for it. Do I think that they're on the shortlist? I do. Out of the 4 that have been put forward, I can't see them all being Americans. I really can't. I can see them being on there. Do I feel the government will pass them? I don't know. What does my gut feeling tell me? What does my gut feeling tell me as a Chelsea fan who I think is going to win it? Personally? Todd Bowley. From what I have been told and what I've heard and what other people have been messaging me and where we stand with everything, I've got a feeling, unfortunately, not unfortunately, because I don't mind Todd Bowley. I actually generally don't. I'll give him the chance. If it's him, it's him. Just don't like his consortium. You know, I don't know. It's frustrating because we all want SMG. We all want that money. We all want that backing from Saudi Media. Cool. I know, I get the whole thing of not wanting Americans. I just want someone with the right intentions, guys. I just want someone that's going to do the right things. You know, we're all just if and but. We all go, yeah, we don't want them because he's going to do this. Yeah, we don't want him because he's going to do that. And 10 years down the line, we're going to be Tottenham. I don't know this. I don't know all in it. None of us know this. You know, but the one individual that we do not want, thank you for the donation, Frosted Myth, as well. Thank you. The one consortium or individuals that we do not want is here. This is one that I would say not only the Chelsea fan base, the Chelsea supporters trust, guys, the Chicago, which we're going to read now, guys, I would say the media group, and the media group are moving quite nicely because what they bring out on the Ricketts family isn't very good news. Now, if you're Raine Group, Chelsea Football Club, and the government, how do you get your point across? Now, it's very hard as Chelsea fans to get your point across, to make yourself heard. We don't want Ricketts, no to Ricketts. We all come together and push it through social media. That's cool. We keep doing that. But the only other way that we can push is not only through the bigger Chelsea platforms on Twitter, which some of them are doing, but through articles like the Athletic, articles like Mail Sport, which will be picked up and read, which will be taken, accredited and listened to. And this is what I'm saying. Bad articles being written about the Ricketts family may push them away, may push the government, Raine Group, the football club itself, away from all of the bad energy that is around these guys. And all I've seen with the Ricketts family from when they were announced to be involved to where we are now is bad news. So I would be shocked, and I repeat, I'll say it again, I would be shocked if the Ricketts family are the individuals that are picked to take over this football club after everything that's been put through the media, after everything that's being forced down the throat of social media, after the statements that have been written and sent to Chelsea Football Club, sent to the government about the Ricketts family. I would be shocked if they did this. Out of all of the people they could have picked, even Nick Candy, for fuck's sake, you know, to that degree. I'd be shocked if they picked Ricketts. That's why I just could not see it. We do, Obi. We do. I know we do. We do. We do. Guys, make sure we get these likes up. We've only got 68 likes. Smash the like button. Let's get this over 100 likes, please. Subscribe as well, because we are 150 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers, halfway to the 10K mark, and we are moving massively quick as hell. Like I said, GNA TV is the best community. The people in the chat right now are the best, man. You want to be involved in this. Big up to CFC Matty as well. He says, DJ Sajay says, more to the fact, Jim, the SMG guy is a Chelsea fan. It is not about the money, bro. Yes, it's the bonus that he has money. The blueprint he has for Chelsea very much reminds me of Roman's ownership. Cool. But then we can go and look at the signs of Nick Candy. He's a Chelsea supporter. You know, it doesn't... What I'm trying to get to you guys is, other than money, money does mean a lot because they have a lot of it. So they will have to force money down their throats. I think they'll have to outbid the Ricketts, SMG. I think they'll have to outbid Todd Bowley. They'll have to outbid the multi-billionaires of South Korea, Nick Candy's consortium. They will really have to force some serious money forward to get in front of these. Being a Chelsea fan that's leading it doesn't make him any different to Nick Candy. And I'm putting myself in the same... I'm putting myself in the point of Chelsea Football Club and maybe even the government in terms of selling points, and maybe even Raine Group. Because when I look at him and I'm comparing him, right, he's a Chelsea fan, he's a Chelsea. I ain't going, he's a better Chelsea fan than he is. Like, this is what I'm saying to you guys. The Chelsea fan thing is good from us, from an emotional aspect. Would I like Chelsea fans to take over? Why not? They understand the football club. Of course. But money talks. Money talks. And this is why I keep saying to you, I do feel that part of whoever takes over this football club will have to put a serious bid in to outbid others. Ricketts family have no clue about this football club. Todd Bowley knows about the football club, but he's not a Chelsea fan. So, you know, we need to get... That's something else we need to be aware of as well. Jim, you want the right thing for our club and you think 87-year-old owner can take... No. But when I say my gut feeling is that Bowley will be picked, it's just because of what I've seen up to this point. I think that 87-year-old will have minimal involvement, personally. I think he's just there to add funds. My issue with him being there is just his age, because what happens when, God forbid, something happens to him and we need a new consortium or a partner? Then what? You know, I don't think it's well thought through. You know, he could have got better partners, I feel. Big up to Josh in the house. Messel says, I also think Saudi Group isn't a good idea. Why, Messel? Messel, you're in the chat. I want to know your thoughts as to why it's not good. Big up. I don't think that's actual RAM because it has a Z at the end. So big up to Joey as well. Joey Hattie. Big up to you. CFC Fahim. Supposedly, but again, not confirmed. Not confirmed. And if you read this, because it was on the Daily, it was on the Mail Online. I don't know if it will let me read it. Chelsea board and the government, and the government are warned that allowing the Ricketts home to buy the club threatens their success, the future of Stamford Bridge, and their community values by fans from Chicago who have seen how they run the clubs. So this is being forced down the throats of the government and Chelsea Football Club by people that support Chicago's. So support the Chicago Cubs. So they're getting a first point of view from someone that's already owned by them. The Ricketts family delivered a comprehensive offering for Chelsea on Friday. Tom Ricketts, chairman of Chicago Cubs, is fronting the bid. Brian Wolf has warned Ricketts family takeover would spell bad news for the club. The statement comes after the father, Joe Ricketts, came under fire for saying Muslims are an enemy, which we already know about. Let me pause this. The Ricketts family are facing further backlash to buy Chelsea, as we already know. The owners of Chicago Cubs baseball team delivered a comprehensive offering for the club shortly after UK 8 p.m. This is why they're in the shortlist, because of money. Keep telling you guys, money fucking talks. The only way we stop these Rickett lot from getting involved with this football club is by outbidding them. It's not allowing them to outbid us. If they're sitting at the top of the triangle because they've bidded more than all of them in there, we are fucked. Because money does talk. And all this shit, and I hope that they don't just, because I don't think it's not just about the money. I'm hoping that they will look at the whole bigger image, the long-term project, the longevity, what's their ideas, what's their plan for the football club, because they will have to have put a plan forward, a project, for us to have understood it. But this is why we've got to make sure that these guys are not the highest bidders, not even give them a sniff. Because if they aren't the highest bidders and they aren't going to increase their bids like I've been reading, then that's good for us. Tom Ricketts, 56, chairman of the Cubs, is fronting the bid being co-financed, blah, 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 blah. But the head of the Chelsea Chicago supporters, Brian Wolf, who is also a Cubs season ticket holder, has warned the Ricketts family takeover will spell bad news for the club. He came out and said, Mr. Wolf, the fan group has raised doubts about whether the family could deliver more success on the pitch and claims that the club remaining after that at Stamford Bridge home could ever come under threat. Mr. Wolf also cited the controversies regarding their political beliefs, as well as their redevelopments of the Cub Stadium and Wrigley Field, the project for which Tom Ricketts, said at one stage had 100% over budget as reasons for concern. As the head of the Chicago Supporter Club and Chelsea Fans Forum, I have had a unique position hearing what supporters in Chicago and worldwide have said regarding the Ricketts family's bid for Chelsea. He wrote in a statement posted on Twitter, I can report the vast majority of the opinion has been universal disdain. And here it is. Here it is. It's right here. Mr. Rakovic and Mr. Neville of the Raine Group, members of Her Majesty's government and all individuals associated with the sale of Chelsea Football Club. As the head of Chelsea Chicago Supports Club and the Chelsea Fan Forum overseas representative, I have had a unique position in hearing what supporters in Chicago worldwide have said regarding the Ricketts family bids for Chelsea. I can report the vast majority of the opinion has been universally disdained. The Ricketts political donations, fundraising and support for candidates who do not share the inclusive views of Chelsea Football Club and its supporters are wholly inconsistent with 19 years of fantastic work done by the football club and the foundation of Chelsea. Most notably as a leader in committing to living wage and efforts to protect and promote equality of BAME and LGBTQ at communities. Their ownership of Chicago Cubs baseball and redevelopment of Wrigley Field raises serious doubts whether they would be able to build upon the club's success on the pitch and also continue existence of the Chelsea pitch owners and the goal to keep Chelsea Football Club playing at Stamford Bridge as our forever home. On behalf of the countless supporters worldwide, I urge you to reject the bid for the ownership of Chelsea Football Club in favour of others who will commit to not only building upon the last 2 decades of investment in players and infrastructure, but equally important, the investment in supporters and the values in which they hold, which we hold dear. If not, I fear Chelsea supporters will be booing in a year. That is signed from Brian Wolf, who is the head of Chelsea Chicago Supporters Club and the representative of Chelsea Fan Forum overseas. There you go. That is a comment from him. So he basically, he's got, and this is what I'm saying, I will be shocked if the Ricketts family get over the line with this. I would be shocked because there is so much negativity towards them from their own fan base. So people that support Chelsea and support Chicago Cubs, you know, a report being sent. This guy's gone out of his way to write a letter and send it to the government, to Raine Group, stressing the issues. Now, if they don't take that into consideration and they just look at the money and they pick these guys, then we are fucked. If this is true, then we are fucked. They have money. They just don't want to spend it. Or they spend it in the wrong way. You know, it's bad times, you know. It's bad times. I've been told to check something else quickly. What am I being told here? Alex Goldberg. Fair enough. Let's look at Alex Goldberg. There's a bit of news on that. And that, we can delete that. We're going to go to Todd Bowley next, and I'm going to open up the lines. We'll get your thoughts and opinions. I want to know how you feel, who you think the 4 owners are. We'll go back to that breaking news at the end. 4 owners have been put in the shortlist by Bruce Buck and Chelsea Football Club already. Ben Jacobs already came out and announced that about half hour ago. We are waiting for confirmation of who these 4 individual owners are. Whether it will be broken today while we're live, I don't know. Maybe later tonight. But we are being told that no later than Thursday, we will then know who the 4 individual owners that have been narrowed down to. 10 bidders from 30 have been broken down by Raine Group and put forward to Chelsea. Bruce Buck has now, along with the Chelsea team, so say Chelsea Football Club and members, have narrowed it down to 4 individuals. So let's see what happens. Alex Goldberg on the Ricketts family. I'm a big baseball fan, so I already knew a decent amount about the Chicago Cubs, but it's absolutely alarming how many Cub fans have DM'd me over the last week telling me Chelsea need to stay far away from the Ricketts. That's their own fan base. That's the own fan base that is already owned by the Ricketts family. You know, it's I'm just reading something else now. Bidders, so whoever makes the shortlist can assume the club are entirely comfortable with. Exactly. Yeah, and that is the truth behind it. That is genuinely truth. We'll go back to Ben Jacobs' comment soon as well. You know, it's a madness. It's a madness. This is what I'm saying. 90% of the world are telling the government and Raine Group and Chelsea to stay away, to protect the club. Don't let it burn to the ground. 19 years of building an empire at Chelsea Football Club, which Roman Abramovich, and along with Marina and Peter Cech and Bruce Buck, who's just been sitting around. Yeah. All of these individuals that have been made Chelsea what it is today, allowed it to be sold at 3 billion. 3 billion being offered to the richest billionaires in the world. This is all came because of what we've built over 20 years, what's been sustained. Why? Because we've been at the elite level, because we have been the most successful team in England, because we have won so much since 2004 onwards. We've won every goddamn competition. Everything that was built today, we have to keep going. We can't allow what's been built by Roman today to go be burnt down like Rome. We can't allow that to happen. And from what I'm hearing, and I don't know the Ricketts family, but everything that I've read since they've entered into these bids in regards to being involved with Chelsea Football Club is a no-go. Their own fan base have turned against them. The head of Chelsea supporters and Chelsea Cub fan has came out and sent a fucking statement to the government, to Raine Group, reiterating that how bad these owners are. Yet they're still going to be shortlisted by our football club and Bruce Buck, which we don't know yet. We have to wait and see. But I think they will. I think they will be shortlisted because of the amount of funds that are behind them. But the real question is, what is the long-term projects, Ricketts family? What is the long-term project? What are you going to put forward for this football club? Because your own stadium, your own fans, you're at Chicago, which you own anyway, are all telling us that you ain't going to be doing anything, that you're going to be offering us nothing. And if Bruce Buck and Chelsea are to make the decision who the 4 selected bidders are, yeah, and thrown them in it, then we have to question mark it. Why were we going to allow what's been built to this point get burnt down? We can't let that happen. if that's the case. It can't. It is not scary times because it's 4 bidders. It means that the Ricketts family still may not be picked, but it's not good news. You know, it's not good news that they're even involved, even got this far. 30 bidders, they've been narrowed into it as well and been brought into it after all the shit that's been spoken about these Ricketts. Yeah, they're inside out because of the sponsorings. We just got to keep pushing the narrative, guys. We just got to keep pushing the narrative. Look, every team in America spend money in their city because it makes fans love them. Plus, I think it's in the contract with the city/state. The Rockets that are the worst to come in. Facts is what Lee Bell's saying. Keep the parasite away from Chelsea. Brucey should have been gone a long time ago. He's still there. You know, he's still there. CFC, I'd rather go into administration than be sold to the Ricketts, is what CFC Matty's saying. He'd rather go into administration than be sold to the Ricketts after everything that's being read. How bad is that? We're actually saying we've got to go over 200 likes. Let's get to 200 viewers. Let's get to 100 likes, people. I want to see what Grimes is saying now, quickly. And then I am going to open up the lines because there's so much going on. There's so much going on. Grimes again. What's she saying? What is she saying? She ain't saying nothing, mate. She said exactly the same things that I've already announced on here already. Nothing. I'm just going through the chat at the moment. I'm just going through the chat. They don't have a long-term project, is what Lee Bell's saying. If any Americans get control of Chelsea, the entire support base should immediately build a get them out of campaign, Jack. As long as it's not the Ricketts. You know, more so. CFC Matty says, we must protest outside Stamford Bridge, otherwise we won't show a physical voice against it. Use the media. Media are putting forward bad fucking articles about the Ricketts. That is being seen by the government. That's being seen by Chelsea Football Club. You know, along with the fans and what's being put forward as well, it just doesn't seem good news. And the more and more I read into it, and I am one for giving people opportunities, the more and more I read into these guys, the more and more I'm just like, nah. There's not one good thing. There's not one positive. Where's the one positive? They've got money. So the others. I'd rather not be fast-tracked and just let Saudi media have it and just wait and let them just pump some short-term investments that allow us to get to the end so that we don't crumble, we don't go into administration. Why do we have to fast-track it and get idiots like fucking Ricketts in? Yeah, I hope not as well. I hope not. But, you know, quickly, before we do open the lines, I wanted to just quickly go to big up to Declared as well. Big up to Declared. Ricketts have no positives. And that's the thing. I'm trying to sit here and think of positives. Where are the positives? Where are the positives of anything about Ricketts? At least with Todd Bowley, you could say you kind of like him. At least he's got some sort of idea. He's just got a shit fucking consortium. Like I said, take him and put him in fucking Nick Candy's shoe. We'll be all right. I wouldn't mind Todd Bowley and the Korean woman and the 800 billion assets Korean company that's assigned to it. That's fine. I'm happy. You know, Nick Candy. Even Nick Candy over Ricketts. And even I don't even want Nick Candy. UK media are hitting Ricketts, and that's great, but they're recovering for Vice and Bowley. Vice has one. Yeah, potentially. You know, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really mind Bowley to a degree. I'd give him a chance. I would give him a chance. Right, going on to that. Look, we're never going to be elite. When with Todd Bowley, I'll tell you this now. If it is Todd Bowley, we are never going to be what Roman Abramovich has done for this football club. But we definitely won't go bust. I'll tell you that. We will be run, we'll be managed, and we'll be maybe looked after better in terms of spending money. We don't go and waste 100 million on Lukaku, 75 million on Kepa. Maybe there will be a structure in how we buy players so that we bring the right players in for the manager that suits the system. I don't mind all that. If that's what Todd Bowley's talking about when he talks about data and strategies and what he wants to bring into the football club, then I'm cool with Todd Bowley. But the people behind you, if you're the leader of that and they're just backing you with funds, fine. But you still could have done better with the consortiums behind you. Impressions is that the best bid overall will win, and one with a sporting background will be favoured by Raine. That leaves you Ricketts or Bowley. If that is the case, and they want someone with a sporting background, it leaves you with the Ricketts or Bowley. Ricketts or Bowley tick that box and have a bit of an advantage from doing due diligence when interested before. Why? Because they already own a sporting company. And is that why Saudi Media Group and Nick Candy won't be fast-tracked? Because they don't own a sports company. I know the government want us to get back to normal things. Maybe. Maybe they don't. Fucking knows with the government anymore. It's worth mentioning that Matt Law said not long ago that the Ricketts have a long-standing relationship with Raine. Another thing that don't work in our favour. Raine Group have definitely picked Ricketts in the 10. In the 10 that was put forward, Ricketts have been put in. Now, the big question is, has Bruce Buck, has Chelsea Football Club, has Maria Gavaskaya, who have been told are the people that are dealing with it, narrowed it down to 4 and included these donuts in it? I think there's a lot of build-up around them, it being, yeah. Because, again, they can be fast-tracked. It's easy for us to get things done. Come on, guys. We're 4 away from 100 likes. Over 215 of you guys here. Smash that like button. Smash it now. How quick can we get over 100 likes and close the gap to 150? Share on your socials. Subscribe to the channel. We're nearly at 5k subscribers, which is huge. He owns 27% of Dodgers and 20% of the Lakers, is what we've got here from Josh. Brady doesn't know anything about football. Chelsea, for the most part, have done good business, and our model is better than Liverpool's data one. Todd is talking like we are in crisis. We could just buy better, though, couldn't we, really, declared. Matt Law is twerking for Bowley Vice. They're just as bad as Ricketts, maybe worse. Are they? I don't think anyone's as worse as the Ricketts. I'm not going to lie. That's true, actually. So why the hell are they not being shortlisted? They own us. Is that true? I need to find out. The Saudi Media Group own a football club already. They own Al Nizar, don't they? Do they not own Al Nizar? Doesn't one of the partners own Al Nizar or something? So why are they why are they not being shortlisted? Major League Baseball strikes just ended. The Dodgers Bowley has been doing business. The Cub hasn't done much. The Dodgers spend 160 million for Freeman, Hazard 6 years. Cubs SMI 1 year, 5 million Lukaku. Dodgers spent 160 million for Freeman 6 years, and we spent the Cubs 1 year, 5 million. Oh right, okay. I get you, Lee. I get you. Matt Law wants us to be reduced to Aston Villa standards. So they didn't make the top 4, Jim. My source told me. Fan, you ain't got a sauce, mate. Stop talking out your ass. Why are you acting like you got a sauce? The only sauce you got is tomato sauce, mate. Tomato sauce. I think so. He's getting the winning mentality. All right, cool. Look, there's over 200 of you here. We've probably got over 100 likes now. 107 likes. Nice. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Please subscribe. I am going to open up the lines for the next 40 minutes. I want to know your thoughts and opinions as well. I am going to be breaking news as we go along. We spoke about Todd Bowley. Spoke about Nick Candy. Spoke about Ricketts. We spoke about the 2 potential owners in Clippers and the new, the billionaires for the Chelsea ticket billionaires that own a company, investment company in Chelsea, in London, that have been shortlisted as well. Well, not shortlisted, added to the group. And then the most breaking news as we stand at the moment, before we open up the lines, is this, so that you guys can understand it. And then we'll open up the lines and get your thoughts and opinions. I want to talk about this with the panel when they come on. Raine Group will announce Chelsea's preferred bidders this week. Let me go back, actually. Ben Jacobs. We'll come back to this guy, Ben Jacobs. So, Ben Jacobs came out 56 minutes ago. There was more to this, wasn't there? Right. So here we go. Raine Group will announce Chelsea's preferred bidders this week. Suitors could find out as early as today, but not later than Thursday lunch. So by Thursday lunch, tomorrow by Thursday, we should have an idea, or the suitors will, the bidders. The bidders will have an idea of who's made it to the four. Four's already been worked out, but the four haven't been told yet. Bruce Buck has had an input, and there is expected to be a shortlist of four. Told there was less than 10 serious bidders. So out of 30, there was only 10 serious bidders within that. We can read some of the threads to this as well. The Ricketts family, Ken Griffin, remain extremely confident they are the best positioned to secure a quick sale due to the relationship with Raine and previous due diligence on Chelsea. That is not good news. That is really not good news because they have got a connection to Raine. Saudi Media Group, which I'll bring in SMG because there's some SMG news here, are reported made a strong offer last week, likely group to facilitate a fast sale. No intel yet as to whether they've made the shortlist, but it's been reiterated that, as you expect from SMG, that Chelsea aren't put off by, as I put it, the optics of a KSA sale. So what they're saying is the whole thing of having to do a fast sale, which is maybe the only thing that pushes them away compared to the Ricketts and Bowley, isn't a big thing to Chelsea at the moment. Because from what Bruce Buck said, Chelsea are okay to go to the end of the season. So a quick sale being, i.e. the next 2 weeks, may not be required. It's about finding the right owner. And this is why I'm praying that we just make sure that whoever takes over has a good long-term project. There's some intentions involved, and there's some guarantees against their names of what is required and what needs to be done to keep this football club and the infrastructure that has been built to the top where it is at the moment. I think there's a key point, though, is Chelsea. So what is it? I think the key point here, though, is Chelsea, not Raine, have effectively chosen the preferred bidders. So whoever makes the shortlist can assume the club are entirely comfortable with them. The level of club input at this stage is atypical, but then it is the whole season sale of process, which is true. So there you go, guys. That's the most breaking news as we have at the moment. I'm just going to quickly, because someone's messaged me something else quickly. Yeah, there is the British consortiums on Mousesport. We could have a quick look at that. So I'll read it out to you guys, yeah? I'll read it out to you rather than edges in this one. An oil tycoon who saved his local team, a banker who worked with UEFA to help clubs survive COVID, and a hedge fund manager whose firm bankrolled redevelopment around Wembley Stadium. The consortium wanted to pump billions into Chelsea. The 4 season ticket holders who have combined to lodge a $3 billion bid to buy the club make a formidable team with the experience and the access to money that will be needed to replace Roman Abramovich. Together, the Chelsea fans can be well placed to meet the club's needs for both continued investment and redevelopment. So you're probably thinking, who am I talking about? This is the billionaires that came in, the 4 season ticket holder billionaires that got involved. This is what we're talking about. On the Daily Mail as well. They've done a lot. This is what I'm saying. They've done a lot in between that, as I've just read to you guys, Former oil trader Bob Finch, hedge fund manager and real estate investor Jonathan Laurie, along with Nizam Al-Bam, the co-founder of asset management firm Centrius, and its CEO Garth Ritchie, have emerged as contenders to take over Chelsea, or take over Emirates. The bid is expected to be reported around $3 billion, which I would say is the highest bid. Abramovich's original asking price, according to Bloomberg. So apparently they've given Abramovich what he wants. The current owner has hired the Raine Group to sell Chelsea, but we know that the consultant finally selected. But they will also have to generate more revenue and mastermind the redevelopment of Chelsea Stadium, which currently acts as a brake on anything approaching sustainable running of the club. Right, blah, blah, blah. So Bob Finch made his name and his money as an oil trader working for the energy firm Vittel. He started at the company in 1979, age 25, and went on to become a director. The consortium, he has talked about a long-term commitment, including stadium redevelopment that will be done in conciliation with the community, the council, and with the fans. Finch brings a local focus to the group. He lives in Wimbledon, southwest London, in a Leaf Street where properties sell for $5 million on average, just 5 miles away from Kingston upon Thames. He's a director of 2 attractive local restaurants. He owns Chateau, Calun, Segor, and Carré. What else have we got here? He attended the... So this is basically a breakdown of the 4 bidders. The bidders that have supposedly put in bids for Chelsea of $3 billion, which is meted in Roman Abramovich's requirements. English firm consortium as well. Sound like they've got a good name for themselves. Done some very good things in the past as we speak at the moment. At the time of the takeover, the Danish press speculated the incentive to own the club would be... Also made a net profit of 30 million transferred in the last 5 years that followed that increased almost around to 49 million. Impressive. However, Finch does appear to have a real love for the game. In the summer, he stepped to save his local grassroots Raines Park Vale FC, who play in the combined Counters League. The club who was going to fold, basically, and he's basically dug him out. So, Nazar Al-Bassan and Garth Ritchie are owners of Centrius. Is an asset management company co-founded. Al-Bassam, who says he had the same seats in Tamberlin Suite and the same seats in West End at Stamford Bridge for 10 years. And the company CEO, Garth Ritchie, are both Chelsea fans as well. So, interesting stuff there. They've worked for Goldman Sachs. It's a little bit of a break-in on who they are, what they're about as well. There's also Jonathan Laurie as well, who owns Shane Capital. Chelsea Club have made it clear that the stadium development will be key. Lauren Corey Management Limited 2000 and the firm based around the corner from St James's Palace in London now manages 3.5 billion investment capital. So understanding in what they do, real estate, etc., finance and business. There he is. So there you go. There's a lot. I ain't going to read all of it because there's tons. And if you really want to check it out, guys, I'll put the link in here for you guys now because these guys sound pretty interesting, pretty hungry. Supposedly laid down 3 billion as well. Again, I want to make sure I haven't missed any serious comments. We're going to open up the lines. I did say we'll do that. So here we go. Lines will be open. There we go. Link is in the chat. You want to come in and have your say? Please do so. What else did someone send me? Apparently, the Ricketts family are flying to London in a bid to convince Chelsea fans they can lead the club to a bright future. Here we go. Here we go. This is getting interesting, isn't it? Let's quickly bring this up before we get these lot in. There we go. The Ricketts family are flying to London in a bid to convince Chelsea fans they can lead the club to a bright future. There's been opposition to their takeover offer from sections of support on social media. They're basically coming here to try and say that they're going to work with the football club, etc., etc. Josh.
What's up, Jim? How you doing, brother?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Come on, mate. I mean, I've been talking a lot, so...
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's there's just a lot of information right now. It's it's tough to say, man. The only thing I know is that there's going to be a large majority of people who are unhappy, no matter who it is. I think you've just seen that. Like, I think majority of people, and myself included, would not like the Ricketts. Just purely, for me, it's purely based off of keeping a certain cohesion with the squad and not upsetting anybody in the squad and kind of keeping that together. Like as far as the bully group, to me, that seems like probably the safest bet of all the groups. I don't foresee anybody being like super happy at the end of all of this. I think the sooner people realize that it's never going to be like Roman Abramovich for 20 years again, the happier they'll be, the easier they'll be to accept. I don't really know, man. I'm more ready for this just to all be over with, to be perfectly honest with you. It's like tired of hearing about it every single day. I'd rather just focus on football.
I agree.
But,
I have a headache talking about it, to be honest. A lot
right.
of it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's a lot of information to try to digest and go
It's
through and
hard.
see what
It is, because I'm sitting here trying to like plan what I'm going to go through, and then something else pops up, and then something else pops up, and it's just like your head just feels like I've got a headache now. Just going, and to be honest, we know we're closer. I mean, we are closer because we know
Yeah.
that Chelsea Football Club have picked four bidders. We don't know who the bidders are yet. The bidders themselves don't know who they are yet, as well. But
I know who
we
they
should
are.
be finding out by Thursday. You know, in terms of what happens there. So
Yeah, I know who they are.
Huh?
I know who they are. What's it called? So my source. I'm actually serious. He
Oh,
Bro,
told
your
me.
sources were lying,
Oh,
man.
no,
I
let
don't
me
want to hear
finish.
it.
Let me finish. Let me land. So about 10-20 minutes ago, I got told by my source that what's it called? Saudi Media Group didn't make it to top four. The top four are Bowley, Nick Candy, the Ricketts, and Woodley.
Yeah, nice
like that.
joke. Nice
So,
joke.
No, don't finish. Saudi Media Group didn't make it in, unfortunately, which is very sad because I had hopes they would make it to top four. Unfortunately, they're not.
Hey, Nathaniel, I thought you were going to show yourself around
We
when because
just
we're
hope
actually
it's
having
Bowley.
grown-up talks now, and I didn't think you were going to jump on ever till the whole thing was over. Nathaniel, hello. He's gone on mute. How's
Hold
everyone
on,
doing?
Jim.
Sorry, the
And
buddy.
also, Nathaniel, you said you didn't know there was 3 bidders approaching the club.
Jim, hold on, Jim. I just got breaking news from my source, and they're saying that Nathaniel's full of waffle. That's.
I mean, you guys don't want to hear. If it was good news, wait. If it was good news,
Got some syrup for your waffle, Nathaniel.
If it was good news, you'd want to hear it. Unfortunately, it's bad news. You don't want to hear it. But what's it called? There was no way
There's
I would
no
lie.
news, but Nathaniel.
No, wait. Let me finish. There's no way I would lie.
No. All you've been trying to do is trying to finish, mate.
You
finish
There's
quick.
no way.
No, let finish.
Can I finish?
You won't interrupt
Go
anyone.
on, finish off, Nathaniel. Let him finish. Go on.
So there's no way I would lie to benefit me. It doesn't benefit me in one way. It's actually the truth. I'm not lying.
Trolling
and if you guys,
you don't know if it's the truth, though.
If you guys don't want to believe it, don't believe it now, and then you'll see.
Nathaniel, wait a second. Nathaniel, what makes you think it's the truth, actual truth?
This source is reliable and he's got things right before.
There's loads of sources, mate. I've got sources. I talk to people all the time.
I'm telling you. Jem, I'm telling
you. Can you link in Nathaniel? I'm very interested.
I'm not linking it now.
Not linking the source. There was a Zell, a fake account. There was fake accounts making those same claims that you just said.
And Nathaniel, you just found out that there's only 4 bidders. You just found that out like 2 minutes ago. So how do you know they're not made it top 4? When you said it was top 3 2 minutes ago.
Everybody in the comments. I get it. You guys are upset because it's not Saudi Media Group.
Nathaniel,
how can we be upset at something we don't know?
I'm upset as well.
I said on the show, live from what Ben Jacobs said about half hour, 45 minutes ago, that this was the most breaking news that we had come out, basically saying that Chelsea had picked 4 bidders. And then all of a sudden, you just said that you know who the 4 bidders are. So
but Jim, they don't have Nathaniel's source.
Yeah, my source told me who the 4 bidders were. I'm telling you, Jem. I'm telling you, Saudi Media Group out.
Wait, let me just get this right. 110%. Bowley, Ricketts, Nick Candy, and Woody Harrison.
The American one, yeah.
Yeah.
Woody Harrison.
Yes, I believe so. Because he just his first name.
Yeah,
so.
That's a load of awful, man.
I mean, it's really not. It's 110% not. And listen, I'm telling you, for Saudi Media Group, 110% out. And when it happens, I want you guys to apologize. I'm telling you for facts. I wouldn't lie. Listen, I'm upset as well, but
if it doesn't turn out to be
I don't know who your sources are. So at the end of the day, I don't think any of us know. That's the thing. I don't know. I just think it's too early to know. But if you know, then you know. Fair enough. If that's what you think.
Nathaniel, no.
And you think, Nathaniel, you think they let you speak about this on GNA TV?
Oh yeah, because I'm not leaking a name. I'm not leaking a name.
I like the way you guys. I just like the way you guys are making this in like it's becoming a story. You wake up, you keep hearing stories, different stories. For me, I don't listen to all this crap. Because I just believe in the only thing I'm waiting for the people in Chelsea to just because I believe them. I believe the people that have been handling Chelsea for 19 years, so they've been doing good job. They know
Jam, check my Twitter.
the better person to take over Chelsea. So I think they are the main person, they are the main people to make decisions, not all these things you see on media. People can write, and everybody knows about Chelsea. Chelsea since 19 years, they don't like to bring information. They don't like to share information. Everything they want to do, they do it to themselves. So I think the people in charge, the Peter Cech, all of them, everybody there, they know the best people that can take Chelsea off, not maybe everything people keep hearing. I don't care whoever is involved. So for me, I'm just waiting at the last
about, wait a sec, Collins. Are you talking about Andreas?
No, Jam, just Jam, put my latest post up.
Stop. You just stop 2 seconds. Are you telling me Andreas has told you that?
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking to Nathaniel. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm talking to Nathaniel because
he's
just told me.
What's it called?
He just told me the sources. Are you telling me Andreas has told you that?
Yeah.
Christensen.
Andreas
Christensen.
Yeah. Put my latest post up. You'll see it. Put it up on the screen.
I'm going to ask him because I know it. I'm very close to him. So
just put it up on the screen.
I heard from him this morning. He's been sick. He hasn't been that involved. He's just recovering from COVID.
He's just got back from COVID. He's not even been
Jam.
involved.
Listen. He told me in the group.
You're going to have to throw some apologies Nathaniel around if you start dropping names and stuff like that.
That's my...
I'll ask if it's Andreas, then fair enough. I know Andreas anyway, and to be fair to Andreas, he's got a lot of stuff right in the past. Not going to lie, but if it is Andreas,
and Jam, he also said not to delete it because if he said to delete it, it would be fake. But he told me not to delete it, and his name's on there, so of course it's going to be. He knows.
Why would he tell you that?
Well, I'm so glad you can keep his trust now,
Nathaniel, I'm on the group chat, so I'll check.
Like before I was saying before you cut me off, I don't care who take over Chelsea, both the Saudi or whoever, both the people that's in America. I don't care whoever take. Don't think I want the best for the club, and I believe that the people in charge in Chelsea know what is best for Chelsea. Not all these media. People can write whatever, and whenever things concern Chelsea, people like to run their mouth. Chelsea don't like to share information. Abramovich has been in Chelsea for like 19 years. If you find maybe interview once or twice, you understand. Look at the people there. They don't like to talk about what concerns Chelsea, but the way media because everybody want to write something because they want to get clicks. For me, all I'm waiting is maybe next week or this week. Whenever they say this is the owner of Chelsea, if they say this is the owner of Chelsea, I will trust them. I will back them because I believe those people that hand the club over to them know what is better for Chelsea, not for maybe what other people are writing. So that is my own. I don't care.
So hopefully, I hear what you're saying because hopefully Bowley. Listen, look at Liverpool right now. Yes, they're complaining a bit about the FSG, but let's not lie. Look at Luis Diaz. Look at that signing. Look at Mohamed Salah. Hopefully, Bowley can do a Liverpool type team where we actually sign good players that are underrated.
I just
making them into the gems.
I just checked the group chat. He did not say they're out of the race. He said they weren't leading the race, and also he just said that the person who tweeted out was a fake account.
Saudi media out.
So
please,
not twist him. I'll check the whole group.
Jem, I'll show you. Don't worry, Jem. I'll show you after the. He said Saudi media group are out.
No, because you're taking.
Can you screenshot me this message and send it to me? I want to see because I know Andreas really well. I want to see.
Listen, Jem, he's using the fake Pies account. He's using the fake Pies account as his source.
Oh my.
Jem, Andreas was on the Blue Lounge this morning. And he explained that. And he explained that he's also been out of the loop a lot because of COVID.
I know. Yes, I've been talking to him offline. Yeah, I know, Andreas. You'd tell me if it was something. I know that. You'd message me. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to see this message because in what context did he pull it? Did he go, I know the 4 people? Andreas doesn't do that. I know Andreas.
No, he said, I asked him about Saudi Media Group, okay? And Andreas said that it's very unlikely they're in the top 4, and then he named the 4 people that are most likely to be in there, and they were the names I
but you just said it's 100%. You came on here saying it's 100%.
Oh, it's 100%. 100%.
Would it really be like breaking news if they weren't part of the top 4? I mean, there's what?
You know what I mean? There's like 300. Yeah. Anyway.
There's like 300 bids. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't in the top group. We don't even know what their
we'll
bid
see.
was.
Okay, we'll see. Josh,
Hey,
we'll
Nathan,
see.
you
So
said
when
that people had to apologize
wait,
to you
wait,
too.
wait,
If
okay.
it turns out true.
You're basing your trust on what Andreas said, which is fine. If he's said
not just him, not just him. I've had other sources as well. And when this is true, okay, when this is true, Jam will need an apology because Saudi Media Group, they're not in it.
Not even caring about Saudi Media. I don't care about Saudi Media right now. I'm talking about the actual 4. I don't care. If
That's the 4.
Huh?
I mean, all I know is the 2 for a fact is Bowley and Nick Candy.
And Woody Harrison, yeah.
Well, I mean, Bowley is. I could work that out myself. I think all of us could work that one out. It's fucking Bowley, isn't it? We know Bowley's one of them. I'll probably.
And the Ricketts, and the Ricketts.
Harrison Ford's in the race as well.
You know, and also I'm in the race. I've decided to buy Chelsea now. Fuck this. I'm not having it.
John Terry's in the race. Why not?
They had the wrong Turkish billionaire the whole time.
Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm reading it now.
I've sent you the screenshots. I think that I know which one you're referring to. You were referring to the fake Pies account, and you probably misremembered.
Hey, look, Nathaniel, if your source is saying something different to what you're saying, are you going to come here and apologize to us? Since you're asking us to apologize to you.
Oh, wait.
It doesn't say anything there.
Wait.
It doesn't say anything there about the 4 bidders.
No. That's the wrong one. If Saudi Media Group were in it,
wrong group chat. There's only one group chat.
No. Hassan's not in it. Hassan's not in the other one. There's 2.
Literally,
Group
was the first person to add me. I was the first person to be added.
Can I finish? If Saudi Media Group
the last time you texted was on Friday.
Anyway, I want to talk to some people about the actual situation now. I'm going to go to Nick Blue. Nick Blue, what are you saying? Nick Blue.
Yes, I'm here. You know, it's so noisy with all your young kiddos on the panel, except Josh. Josh, big up to you. You know, we do have some youngsters like Nathaniel who never stops, but that's okay. I don't hate you, Nathaniel. You're just a young boy with no sense. So, let me come to the point here. Look, we don't know for sure who we're going to have as an owner. The Saudi group is not out of it. We don't know. They're very quiet at the moment, so they could be doing something privately
Saudi Media Group with
the government.
And just waste your time.
Let me
listen. Don't waste your time.
Let him finish, man. I'll kick you. Let him finish.
Oh God, you can't talk on this channel anymore.
Let him talk. Don't bite him.
I was saying, we can't go into it too much. We're going to find out very soon who the top 2 or top 3, could be even before, like you said, who the bidders or the main bidders are. When we find out who the last few are, then we can choose and pick and start commenting on each one. But even if it's even if it is the Ricketts, they're going to have to come in and put their mouth where the words, where the money, where their words are. Put the money to rebuild the bridge, put it to the academy, put it to the women's team, and do like you promised. Otherwise, you're going to have a rough time with
Nick,
us Chelsea fans.
The problem is, though.
I finished yet. Well, let me finish, man. Why you keep coming on?
Sorry.
And you know, Nathaniel, you don't have a clue. Saudi Arabia group is not out of it. Like I said, no one's out of it yet. So we don't know. Me today personally, Declare knows I called Chelsea Football Club to see what's going on. Of course, they're not going to tell me exactly, what's going on. But, they did give me an idea that we mustn't be too quick to criticize anyone. They just said, be patient. As soon as the news comes out, it's going to be on the Chelsea website. So don't listen to this media or journalists or anyone on Twitter because it's all false. That's what I keep saying.
Did you call Chelsea, did you say?
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to know what's going on. And another thing, I wanted to know what's going on with the ticket thing. And we're still banned from buying tickets. People who have tickets for the Brentford game, they can still go. But at the moment, we can't go to the FA Cup semi-final or anywhere else. Only the Brentford game, we're going to have some fans. But as long as once we get the owner, things will be back to normal. And when they lift the sanctions from Chelsea Football Club, we can buy tickets again. But nothing's happening right now. We just have to wait. I know I'm not really patient myself. I'm not patient at all, actually. And I haven't.
Don't worry, the news will come out today.
Well, anyway, you've waffled. Wait, so you've waffled because Andreas has just messaged me saying, "No, he's waffling. I told some hint to one group." That's exactly what he's just told me. So
Jim, I told you my source was spot on. I told you it was
I've
spot
already
on.
told you. Jem, I already told you. Jem, I already told you. It's not the only source I have. I have many sources who have told me the same thing.
Okay.
What you got? Tomato
sauce.
sauce or brown sauce? Which is your sauce? Tomato or brown
Listen,
sauce?
we can make jokes. We can make jokes, but there's no joke that Saudi media could out of the race.
I think that Arsenal group chat.
I ain't even a liar because look, I'll show you the message there. Look,
Look, Nathaniel, you're digging a bit of a hole. That's the joke.
Nah, he's waffling. I told some hit, but one group. I said I knew it was anyway, but I wanted to check. He said no, he's waffling. There you go. No, it's not just
Andreas though. You
also apology, Nathaniel.
No, I don't. Because
because you asked. You said that we had to apologize for you when it became true. Now you've been muttered. And now it's been come out. So you owe an apology. That's pretty fair.
Here's the deal. If Saudi media group are in top 3 or 4, I'll apologize. That's the deal.
Listen,
why
you lied about your source?
Let's not.
You guys apologize.
You have to paint yourself.
Guys, listen, right.
Sorry.
I was gonna say let's not turn it to a Twitter space now. Let's turn it to actual YouTube show.
Yeah,
stop arguing now.
Yes.
So, Nick, is it only the Brentford game as far as you're aware?
That's what they told me. Because even though you can't even go on the ticket exchange, nothing's running at the moment. So the Brentford game is like Jem said, if he's got a ticket, he got it before he'd be going. But we can't buy it, so it won't be a full capacity, I don't think, because most I don't know unless they sold all the tickets at that time. I don't know, but that's gonna be the last game with fans for a long time.
Hey, I'm gonna protest when I'm there because by then I'll know.
Yeah, you have to protest. I told you I was there last Friday. Protesting. No one listens.
I will know if it's who's the top 4 now, and if the Ricketts family in there, we can all protest before the game. Be like,
yeah. I will come. I'll be outside the bridge. Anyway.
So all these deluded guys in the comments are saying, "Oh, he's a clown." So when Saudi media group are not in the top 4, what are these guys going to say?
Saudi media.
Listen, Nathaniel.
You said the 4
Nathaniel, do not argue with the public. Do not argue.
You said Todd Bowley, Ricketts, Woody Harrison, and Nick Candy were the 4. And you said that's the 4.
Yes.
Saudi media. Who gives a shit if it's them or not? That's the 4 you said. So
yes.
If one of them are wrong, or 2 of them are wrong, then your source is wrong.
We'll see.
That's it.
Listen, I hope. Isn't that it? Because I hope my source is wrong because I want the Saudi media group to be in it. It's a weird one.
Chips and tomato sauce. That's what I'm saying to you.
The funny thing is, he's probably half right.
Nathaniel, do you do kids parties, man? You clown. I don't know why you keep digging a hole, bro. I don't know. You keep sticking to this thing. You're gonna keep finding all these sources, and they're just
What's your thoughts now? Situation? I spoke to you. Go
on. I'm hoping there's more surprise parties. To be honest, I gave a little taste of why I didn't like the Todd Bowley group, of what he said. The guy doesn't know nothing about football. He's talking about data, which is linked to the Liverpool model. He's talking about sensible spending. You know when you talk about sensible spending is when, maybe you've taken a loan on the stadium to build a stadium, and now money is tight and it's locked up somewhere. And then you say, oh, we've got to do some sensible spending. I mean, for the most part, Chelsea's done good business. I mean, besides Kepa and Lukaku and that, I mean, most other players have, at the time, sounded like good business, right? It's not like we've made heaps of mistakes. If anything, when you talk about Liverpool's data model, since the Fenway Group have been on, they made heaps of mistakes. They've lucked out with Klopp and Klopp's help. So Todd Bowley, for me, is talking like we're in crisis, and and I don't know how people are warming up to him. And the Ricketts have always got racism linked to the name, regardless of which family member, right? The money still comes from the dad who made it, made the statements. And if he comes in, he's going to start on the back foot. The media is going to bring that up all the time. And any event is going to be linked to that statement. So he's going to start on the back foot of racism. And then who else do we have in the link? Nathaniel's sources. The Saudi group is for me favorite. For my favorite is because they're going to come in and just leave everything the same.
It can be your favorite or you want. It's my favorite as well. It can be your favorite or you want, but it's not going to happen.
It doesn't happen.
It's not like the government are going to care about you.
Yeah, but look, there are other groups are popping up every day. And there's like we didn't even know about
Deadline's closed.
Centrist group was that the ones that was called? Centrist, was that the
Centurion,
name?
Yeah, Centurion, yeah.
Yeah, so they just came out, a couple of days ago to people's awareness, and no one knew.
The four Chelsea, what are they? The four, they're Chelsea fans.
Venture capitalists, I think.
Yeah. You're talking about them. Yeah. Yeah, they sound good. They do. To be fair, $3 billion.
They do. But Jem, my biggest worry is that 90% of these bidders are probably like here to make money. To be honest, they've looked at an opportunity. The Glazer story is opened up everyone's eyes because the Glazers didn't put a cent into buying Man United. They bought loans and they put it on the Man United name, and Man United have been paying for the club that they bought. And over the time they've been here, they've taken $2 billion out of the club. That sounds like a great story if you're a venture capitalist or any investment group. And now they see Chelsea for the same opportunity, and that's why everyone's jumping aboard. Because I'm telling you guys now, whoever comes in.
Look at Simon Phillips' comment just now. He says, "Why isn't no to Ricketts trending? We need to trend this every day. I've just seen a report that says sections of the Chelsea fan base don't want them. Trust me, I don't know a single fan who wants them. Let's make ourselves even louder here. Do your bit."
Jeff, do you want to know what the hypocrisy is? Everything that Roman is being accused of with Muslims and funding the government and stuff is exactly what the Ricketts are doing, blatantly, and it's like everything, like what they're doing is like everything what Roman's being accused of, and he's been kicked out.
Let's be honest.
We don't want someone in, and all of these Americans fund the Tories. All of these Americans fund the Tories. So there's going to be a government influence on these type of deals.
Let's not act like Burnley. Let's not act like Burnley isn't good. Let's not act like Burnley. Burnley's good.
No, but I'm just saying in general.
Burnley will make us like a Liverpool type run club. So it'll be good. It'll be sustainable, successful, and we'll get good players. Like I said earlier, we'll get good players that are underrated for a short fee. Look at Salah.
What makes Liverpool a good model?
Liverpool very good recently. Sustainable.
I mean, Nathaniel, the funny thing is,
you know how long
they're fighting at the top.
How long the Fenway group have been in, Nathaniel?
They back the manager, the back clock. Like they keep him for years.
Liverpool been crying out for new transfers every window. They barely get it,
and they get them. No, they don't.
They're struggling to sign Salah as well. So the Fenway group has been in for 11 years, Nathaniel, and it's taken them that long to win a title.
I'll take Burnley over anybody right now.
Nah, the guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Listen, Nathaniel,
and we got a better model than Liverpool.
Hang on, declared, yeah. He's the same guy, yeah. If we're in the mud, he'll go and support Arsenal. He's the same guy that said that. So I'm not taking what your opinion is saying. Yeah, you did. It's on receipts, bro. Just so much shit. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Like, if we do get these type of Ricketts or these Tory funding pricks, right? It's all to do with the government. It's literally, there's nothing else to say. Saudi law, yeah. Jem, I just have a slight feeling we're gonna get Todd simply because the Premier League would just the Premier League would just delay Saudi to the point where Chelsea will be near administration. It's either take Todd or you go into administration. I just think the Saudi law, we're gonna have to wait a year, and that's just too long for our club.
Yeah, I agree. No, with the services, # no to Nathaniel. Okay, trending. No to Nathaniel is trending on YouTube at the moment. But listen, I agree with Nathaniel with one thing. He said Todd Bowley. I do think Todd Bowley is, you know, from what I've read up to and what people I've spoken to, from what I've seen on Twitter, putting it all together, I just feel that Todd Bowley, if it ain't Saudi media, which I don't, I'm still not 100% sure on it. I do think Todd Bowley's the front runner. I don't think Nick Candy is. I think it'll be close, but I just don't see how the Ricketts win this. I just don't. There's just so much negativity. There's not been one positivity come out once on these guys. So what, you know, what on earth is Bruce Buck going to do by appointing someone that not only the fan base hate, but whole of media, people with strong platforms are even saying no to Ricketts. Like, they must be seeing it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't get the what's this? Nathaniel Sauce. Fuck's sake. Can confirm Saudis are out of the running. Woody Harrison is the front runner with Harrison Ford.
I'm scheduled, man.
Can I say something? Can I say something about this? The last guy you just mentioned, about the Americans you just mentioned. You know, people talk about many things. For me, I don't like to get involved with football and politics. I don't like to talk about politics when it comes to football because I just want to enjoy my football. I watch football, any game, even if I'm walking on the street, I see people playing football. I just take my time, enjoy it. So I don't like to involve football with politics. If those guys in America, they are going to be the one to give me the best time of my life in Chelsea, I don't care. Because there is no billionaire on this planet. If you begin to count one of them, most of them involve themselves in shady business. You understand? Because you can't be a billionaire without involving yourself in shady business. So if you begin to dip inside them, then you find out that you won't like anybody that is a billionaire. So for me, my own take on this is that the Chelsea board knows who is better to run Chelsea. So if you then feel that those guys are the most important people to run Chelsea, man, I'm done with them. I just want to support my club. I watch my football. And if I have opportunity to go to England and watch Chelsea, I watch them. If I don't have the opportunity, I watch them. Anywhere available for me to watch them, I watch them. So for me, politics, I don't like to involve because I hate politics. I don't like to involve politics with all these football things. Football is all about where you go. You enjoy your time, spend time with your family. But people bringing football with, because people that want Saudi, you look at what is happening in Saudi. Nobody's talking about that. So, but everybody wants Saudi. So if you begin to look into all these things, you get yourself wound up. So for me, I don't like to involve myself in politics. All I want, who is the better people to run Chelsea? If the board said, if those guys in America are the best people to run Chelsea, the plan they have for Chelsea is better for any other. Man, I am done with that. I don't care. I don't care what anybody is talking about. The most important thing, are they there to support Chelsea, to make Chelsea more better what Chelsea is today? Are they there to build a stadium, to take Chelsea to another level? Man, Collins, I'm done. I don't care. That is my own. I don't like to bother myself in politics with football. I just want to support my team. So that is why all these things that is going on about Abramovich is like pissing me off. Because if you watch all these things, UK government is just doing it because they just want to make sure that they did something to Abramovich. Even before this war, they have tried to do something to him. So it's not, maybe if you begin to deep, you find out that it's not about the Ukraine war. They are even protecting
They did do something to him. They banned him from Chelsea.
No, you understand?
Yeah, what you're saying is, I agree 100% what you're saying. That's what we want. Most Chelsea fans, that's what they want.
That's what I want.
Someone to come in and keep the Roman project going.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah. You know,
I want to sort of dispel this kind of myth that, like, if one of these American owners takes over, like, they're going to just destroy it. Like, for one, this would be the most expensive club in world football now, this sale, right?
Yeah.
Billionaires don't spend billions on an investment to then destroy said investment.
Yeah.
So the idea that Todd Bowley's group is going to come in, spend $3 billion, invest in rebuilding a stadium, only to then destroy their investment in the club, I think is absolutely ludicrous.
What about the Glazers? What about the Glazers?
No, but
What
the
about the
problem is
Glazers?
with
You know how much money the Glazers have spent on that United roster?
FSG.
Yeah, FSG, do you know how much money they've spent on that
that
roster?
one money as well as taking.
So next of
That's
all,
Man United money. Josh, what I'm saying, they're not going to destroy it, but they are probably get it to a point where they can start getting returns on their investment.
That's what do you think? I mean, This is a business at the end of the day. Like they're going to actually they're going to want to make money on their investment, but that doesn't happen by making the team worse. They're only going to increase their investment if the team is good. They're not going to take a team that is winning, worth this much money, spend that much money, then lower the value of the team by making them worse. Like nobody's going to come in and buy Chelsea in 10 years if the club is shit.
But it could in a different way, Josh.
Let Collins speak.
So I want to say something. Even people talking about United, if you watch the owner, they spend money more than any other owner in Premiership.
Exactly.
It's just the bad management, the people they appoint in their head. So if those people can come in and say, okay, Peter Cech, we want you to stay, Marina, we want you to stay, we want you to stay, continue what they are doing, the club will still doing fine. It's just that when you appoint the wrong people, then they will make everything you're going to do is not going to. But once you get the right people, forget about Manchester United investing money every season. They always invest money. It's just that they appoint one people. So for me, if Chelsea, because we learn the foundation is there. If Abramovich can pick Chelsea from ground and put it to this level, I believe that anybody that is coming in is going to take it to another level. So you can't just come, like my brother said, come and invest almost 3 billion. I just want your 3 billion. Just go to America and sleep. Allow your 3 billion to go. Even those people that is coming in, they are coming to Chelsea to take it on because they want to make money. Because if they build a stadium, build all those things, it's going to increase their fund, increase their own money, everything they're going to get is going to, because this is one of the biggest clubs on planet. So if they can be able to acquire this, look at how many people that wants to buy Chelsea. About hundreds of people wants to buy because they know what they want to get from it. So if you invest your money, you expect to get money. I don't expect anybody to buy Chelsea. Say if you buy Chelsea, don't get any money. Just because this is business. If you want to get your own business, you also want other person to prosper because I want them to make money while they're also supporting Chelsea. So, but for all these people talking about policy,
shush.
Guys, 1 second.
Shush.
Wait a sec, before you just go, I just want to say something very quickly. Guys, you see this thread here that I put out, right? Obviously, CFC Dailies retweeted it. If anyone don't actually fully understand it, I'm going to read it in my own time. Here is an absolute breakdown of a thread that was put out by this fellow about everything to do with the Ricketts and their involvements. And I've just literally tagged loads of people. If you ain't followed me, go and follow me on Twitter. It's CFC_Gem. You can check me out on here. Let me just show people that don't actually follow me already.
Yeah, I already done it, Jim.
One second. So it's CFC_Gem. Follow me on there. Scroll down, and the thread is there. All click and retweet and share and read the thread as well, and spread it across. Spread it across to everyone. Spread it across to everyone, guys. Yeah, make sure you all do that. Yeah.
Got some big breaking news. This is serious.
Oh, fuck's sake, Nathaniel, what?
Andreas, actually. Andreas literally just told me a minute ago on a group chat that Bowley, in his words, he says in his words, I do believe Bowley will win, guys. So Bowley's going to win, guys.
What's breaking news about that?
That's an opinion.
That's an opinion.
You're taking the piss, isn't you? He's trolling.
I'm not taking him.
What is that?
I'm not trolling. You say screenshot.
You'll kick him out, man.
I don't need you to
Kick him
show me
out.
the screenshot. If someone says that they think Bowley, I've been saying I think Bowley's the front runner, but we don't know it's confirmed yet. It's just a guess.
Matt Law thinks Nick Candy's gonna win. That doesn't mean he's gonna win it.
Yeah, Matt Law has
something like that.
Forget Matt Law.
Happy. I want Bowley. I'll take Bowley over the Ricks any day. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy.
Nick Blue, what are you saying?
I said, like I said before, stop believing in all these journalists and people on Twitter because they don't have a clue. We can all say, he's going to win, that one's going to win, but we don't know. For me, I hope it's someone no one's mentioned, and it will come out of the blue like Roman did. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't want no one. I want someone like Roman.
Breaking news, someone's guessing.
The funny thing is, though, back to what we were saying, right, about the whole situation about investing money. Chelsea Football Club, if you take Roman Abramovich's investments of the last few years, makes around £400 million in terms of US dollars. That's around 600 million, I think, 650. So of course they're going to come in, walk in, take Chelsea to the next level, and probably try to make it at least close to $1 billion, close to like 600, 650. The likes of Man United and Liverpool and City making, well, City's probably inflated, but they want to try to get us to that level so they can at least take a little bit of their own, like of our own funding. But I don't think they'll damage us to the point where they're not going to take the money out like Glazers will, where they're taking like 100 million a year. They'll of course take like a little bits of money out, like probably around 30, 40 million pounds, something like that. But it wouldn't really matter to where if we reduce our wage contracts as well as making around 500-600 million in terms of revenue, it wouldn't really affect our club. They'll take money out, but not to the extent of where Glazers would take it out. Whereas Roman, he would have just left it. But
Hassan,
we won't get a Roman where he.
I truly think Bowley will be better than Abramovich in the long term.
Let me just come in, Jem, on what he was saying because it's important. Yeah, whoever comes in, like you said, like Collins was saying, it's no advantage to him not to pump money into Chelsea. He has to, make the team even better, make us stronger than anyone in this league, because it will only make him more money in the long run to win trophies and everything. So, we can't go, saying they ain't going to do that or they're going to take money out and first of all, Roman won't let that happen. He put the Raine group there for this specific reason, to make sure it's the right owners. So I think we all worried too much. Really, we should just cool down a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I think we all need to be patient. And one thing, because I'm going to finish off in a minute. The one thing I will say is that we know is that it's been narrowed down to 4 individuals. Bruce Buck and individuals of Chelsea have made the decision of who the 4 may be out of the 10 that was put forward by Raine Group. We will find out more hopefully before Thursday midday is what we've been told. So it could be later today, could be Thursday tomorrow. Once we get the news, I'll break it. If it's tomorrow, I'm not around, so I won't be able to, but I might be able to do it Thursday. Pies will be joining me. Pies is coming on next time to go through it as well. So there's a lot still to happen. Lots still in the unknown. Is it going to be SMG, Nick Candy, Bowley? You name it. There's numbers and numbers of individuals that we're waiting to be confirmed. So once they're confirmed, then we can delve into it and understand who's left, what we think of it, and who should be the ideal Chelsea owner from that basis. Winter says, Nathaniel Sauce, you're right. You go great with fish and chips, is what he's got there. Bowley has no title. The Dodgers or Lakers. He's an investor and part owner, 20% of 27. Yeah, I've read this already. What happened to Saudis? Nothing, because they're in the darks at the moment. We're in the darks. We don't know what they're doing at the moment. Conor McGregor's team. I don't know about that, Sippers. I don't know about that.
I'll be doxed.
What happens with that, guys? But make sure you smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to GNA TV as well. Sasuke in the house says #Sally's in, #Racist out, #Tottenham fans out. Thank you for the donation, brother, as always as well. Big up to seeing you in the chat. But like I said to you guys, get over to Twitter. Go and follow me. My Twitter link is in the description below. So if you haven't followed me, go and follow me on there. Retweet what I've put on there as well in regards to the Ricketts. Read that thread about the Ricketts family. There's a lot there as well, a lot of knowledge if you're not aware on who they are. And share it. Let's get it across to all the Chelsea platforms. Allow them to share it, spread the word. And we'll see what happens. Breaking news, Nathaniel's been sacked. Nathaniel Sauce. Joey as well. Guys, I'll be back soon. And like I said, if it breaks later, I'll break it. I'll do a stream. It's not a problem. We'll see what happens for the rest of today. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll be back later on. And peace out, guys. Peace out.
Yeah.